What do you get when you take the aesthetics and gameplay of the original Star Fox and marry it with the stellar performance that we've come to expect from games in the modern era, and maybe even throw in a little love for Space Harrier while you're at it? Well, that question that's hovered over our heads for years has seemingly been answered with the upcoming indie game Ex-Zodiac, which launches today on Steam Early Access. I had never heard of this game myself until I received an email offering me a review code for it, but upon doing some research, it appears that this game is the result of a successful Kickstarter campaign by developer Ben Hickling. To be fully transparent, I've never been the biggest Star Fox fan, nor have I ever really played any of these types of games extensively, aside from Star Fox 64. But seeing the art style was enough for me to be willing to give this game a shot. I definitely feel this low-poly, dither-filled, aliased wonderland is an underappreciated aesthetic when compared to the copious amounts of indie games that pay homage to the 2D games of the 80s and 90s. There's even a high-res mode that can be enabled to smooth everything out, and while I feel that certainly has its own charm, I still prefer the jaggies and dithering seen in the game's default settings. Aside from the low-poly stuff, you'll see the characters interact with each other on the bottom via radio, but honestly, I had a hard time keeping up with the in-game conversations while simultaneously playing. However, it's not like there are any complex tutorials to be wary of, as the gameplay is kept just as simple as Star Fox was. You have your standard laser, missiles, bombs, boosting, brakes, and of course, barrel rolls. That's not to say that Ex-Zodiac is a complete imitation of Star Fox though, as one major thing that sets it apart is that you don't have to manage a team. You're flying solo, and honestly, I think it's better off for that, as I can just concentrate on destroying enemies and not having to save Slippy's useless ass every 5 minutes. So while the game is simplified, the replay value and core challenge comes from replaying levels to improve your ranking and find all the hidden items scattered in each stage. Particularly the data chips, which if you can find them will transport you to a Space Harrier style bonus area upon completing the stage. And these areas are basically just Space Harrier, albeit more forgiving since you have health instead of instantly dying when you hit an obstacle. However, should you lose all your health, you'll have to go back to the main stage and collect the data chip again for another attempt at it. Word of advice: mind the evil SpaghettiOs. As I mentioned earlier, the game is launching into Steam Early Access, meaning that it's not complete as of yet, so some would say it's not fair to assess it yet, as this Early Access build only contains 6 of the planned 12 stages, but after playing it myself, I have nothing but high hopes for it, and am eagerly anticipating its completion. The 6 stages available now can be finished in a little less than an hour, but with how much fun I had with it, I went back several times trying to improve my rankings and trying to find the data chips, as they can be pretty well hidden, and as of writing this video, I've almost put 4 hours into this build, and I still haven't gotten bored of it. I think something else that helps me enjoy this game is the groovy soundtrack composed by Plus Tech. Even before getting into the game proper, the title screen music and level select music will already have you pumped to play, and once you start playing, you'll find that the music perfectly complements the non-stop chaotic action. Early access games are always hard to recommend, as a lot of people are going to understandably want to wait for the finished product to come out. But for the low price of $9.99, I definitely think the content currently available justifies adding it to your Steam library. But if you're still on the fence, there is a free demo containing the first 2 stages, and I believe that's a good way of determining whether or not it's worth it right now. If you want to see even more of the game, then I recommend coming down to my Twitch stream this Saturday night, where I'll be playing through the whole build. For now though, I wish Ben Hickling the best of luck on future developments, as everything that's out now is excellent as far as I'm concerned. But until next time, this has been FumeiCom, and I thank you all for watching this spotlight on Ex-Zodiac.